Hello, dear viewers at Guadalajara International Book Fair in Mexico. Hello, viewers elsewhere in the world. Thank you for watching. I'm pleased to welcome you to this little talk with one of our most popular and successful modern Slovak authors, Ivana Dobrakovová, who is here with me. And we are at the Slovak Literature Center in Bratislava, Slovakia. My name is Petra Mikulasova, and I'm working as manager for Slovak literature abroad. Thank you very much for coming here, Ivana.
Thank you, and hello to everyone.
As I mentioned, you are one of the very known authors, modern authors in Slovakia, and quite known in other countries too, thanks to many translations. You have also received many literary prizes, awards, nominations. You have been shortlisted for the most prestigious Slovak award, Anna Soft Litera, like several times. And as I mentioned, also your books are quite often translated into languages like English and planned also into Arabic. So, but a special thing about you is that you are born Slovak and a Slovak writer, but you don't live in Slovakia. You live in Italy, Turin. And how come you finished up in Turin?
Yeah, that's very simple. When I was at university, I met my future husband, who happens to be Italian. So as soon as I finished school, I just packed my things and went to Turin, where I have been now for, I think, 17 years. So it was not so much a decision as an impulse to go there. Then I understood after what I have done.
And you feel like you are still Slovak or more Italian?
I'm a Slovak who feels at home in Italy.
Nice.
Because I have, it took me quite a long time to feel at home in Italy. For the first 13 years, I was like, maybe I will come back, but now I'm definitely at home in Italy, and I feel quite strange here. And but for the Italians, I will be always a foreigner.
Now, because I'm asking, because this is one of the very important topics also in your newest book. It is called Matky a kamionisti in Slovak, and Mothers and Truckers in English. And this book was published in 2018 at Marencin Publishing House in Slovakia. And since then, many licenses has been sold to other countries, to other languages, and the book is now translated into Macedonian, Hungarian, Czech. English is planned to be published this year, and just newly we saw it coming out in Spanish. Yes, and the Spanish edition it was published by the house Sexto Piso in Madrid, but has the distribution in Mexico too. So how do you feel about it, having a book in Spanish?
I'm very happy about this particular translation and publication in Spanish, because as you said, I had more translations, and not all publishing houses are so professional as Sexto Piso, because sometimes like the book is published and it's as if it was nothing happened. But I mean, I've already had reactions on social media from Spanish readers, so I think the publishing house already has some kind of circle of readers that are waiting for their books, and I'm very happy also about the translation, the Patricia González de Jesus, because she has a beautiful Slovak. You know, sometimes you meet a translator and you're not sure what language she's talking to you. She's just like a native speaker, and they made a very interesting cover which catches the attention. So it's one of the translations and publications I'm more happy about, and so I'm curious to see if it will continue like this.
Unfortunately, we don't have the book here physically right now because it didn't arrive on time.
Maybe it arrived to Turin because my husband told me I got a package, but I haven't been there.
Yes, but how would you describe this book? What is it about?
Yes, it's a collection of short stories, or maybe I should say novellas, because they are longer apart from one. And every story has the name of the main character. So there are two Slovak stories, Ivana and Veronika, which take place in Bratislava, and there are the two Italian short stories, Lara and Olivia. And actually this is the first time I wrote from the point of view of Italians also, because till now I've been always writing either about Slovaks in Slovakia or about Slovaks in Italy. So this is the first time, and I try to give voice to five
hospital is close by.
Okay. Yes. To five female characters that are very different and in a kind of stream of consciousness manner, to get into their heads and to see what happens, and to try to reveal their most inner thoughts and fears and traumas and their opinions on all kinds of things. And that's what interested me, that to create different consciousness for everyone. And then there is this short story called My Father, which was added at the end, and it's kind of introduction about the figure of the missing father. That may be one of the reasons for, because these women are also a bit disturbed, I would say. And for the title,
yes, that was interesting. I wanted to ask you, what about the title? Because we see mothers in the narratives, we see, or novels, we see truck drivers like in a dreamy way in the last one, but very positively viewed truckers. But we, what?
Well, I'm not good in giving titles, so the original should have been Mothers, Daughters and Truckers.
Okay.
But my friend, the writer Katka Kucbelova, told me to skip the daughters. And it's like the mothers are very present, are there very, their presence is very dominant, there's sometimes controlling, and the characters have a very strong relation to their mothers in positive or negative way. And the truckers, yes, there is. The truckers are actually only in one short story. That's the obvious reason, because the Veronika, she chats with a lot of truckers, but they kind of represent the men that are not there, because they're like the truckers that travel, and they often in the book don't even have names. They're just like letters.
Yes.
And, so.
And that's interesting because...
I wanted to say that maybe it's not... that in European Union Press for Literature they called it mothers and lorry drivers originally, but then my great English translator Julia Sherwood told me that it's more nice to call them mothers and truckers, because it's a bit like motherfuckers.
Okay, yes, because yes, that's the feeling I have of this book and these stories, that everyone is searching after something, some kind of luck, some kind of place, space actually, because there is always someone dominating them and invading actually. But at the end of the day, no one of these main characters does something progressive or active to change the situation they are in. And some columnists and critics in Slovakia like mentioned that this is maybe so kind of passive way to tell their story, but I mean you catch the point really nicely, that you saw the reality through their eyes. So but this is very important in this time, I see. And you mentioned this prize you got for this book. This is a European Union prize for literature 2019. I wanted to ask you, did it influence your career or your thinking around your writing?
Well, as you said, I received some prizes even before, but the most important for me is the European Union Prize for Literature, because I know how it works. And I have friends that got the prize before, and it's the thing is that I don't have a literary agent. So, and me as a translator, I know that the literary agencies are can be very aggressive in pushing their authors, and and also the book fairs. It's like the conferences when they talk and they try to sell the books, and I have nobody apart from Literary Information Center to do that for me. So I knew that the prize, European prize, is connected with a lot of translations, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm very happy, because that's the thing that matters to me, to be translated and to reach to other readers. But it didn't influence my work, actually. When I was at the ceremony in Brussels, there was this Ukrainian author who said, when I was writing the book, I was thinking maybe this could appeal to the European. She was writing the book thinking of the prize. Oh. So that's not, I write out of necessity, that I need to communicate something, so no prize can influence what I write and what could please to some other country or readers from other countries.
Yes, interesting. And then I wanted to ask you about this fact that you are not only a writer, but a translator too, basically from French and Italian.
Yes.
And you are known, or you translated such names as Simone de Beauvoir or Elena Ferrante. So how do you view yourself? Are you more of both of them, or only writer to sometimes, or how do you?
I feel more like a translator, because that's my job, and that's the thing that I do most of the time. I spend maybe 4 or 5 hours a day translating, and I write much less. And but it's very important for me to write and to publish my books, but. As I write mostly from my experience, I don't feel like I should publish one book every year. No, it would not be bearable, I think. And as for the translations, there is another difference, because I translate always. I mean, when I'm on vacation, when anything can be happening in my life, I translate. But for writing, it is different. When I'm depressed or not well, I can't write. I must feel comfortable to,
Yes, wow. Because several of your earlier novels have been translated into quite many languages. Among them some European languages, but as I mentioned, there is this planned edition of your book in Belvi in Arabic. So how do you feel about it? Which of them was kind of most important for you, or you see as a really the best one?
I can't say, because there are many. I made friends with many translators that are very good. So maybe one of the most important is the English translation. I was very happy that Julia Sherwood chose me even before the European Prize and translated my novel, because when you have an English translation, you can give it to other publishers that they can read, because it's nice to have translation in a minor language, but you just can't. Nobody will understand it. So that was, and Julia Sherwood is very good. So I'm very happy about that. And I'm happy also about Czech translations, Hungarian, Macedonian, because I became friends with the Macedonian publisher, and they're all important, and I always hope to find readers in other languages. Maybe even the first one that was into Polish, and yes, then I forgot. For me personally, very important is that these days the Italian translation should be published, and I've always wanted to have an Italian translation publication, because I always say, well, yes, I'm a writer, but nobody can read anything. Yes. So they just not very convinced about this.
Yes.
And I became friends with a translator, which is also great, called Alessandra Mura, and we became friends. She's based in Rome, and it was like a bit complicated with the translation, but I hope that finally it will be published. So,
nice.
yes.
No, because this is interesting, your earlier novels. I think many of them, if not all of them, would be kind of interesting also for the Spanish public, the audience. What do you think? Which one would fit maybe best?
I don't know. I know in my first book, which is The First Death in the Family, I don't want it translated into any language anymore.
Okay.
And my most important book for me is Bellevue. For the moment, it's the only novel, and it's the reason for which I decided to write, because I had to write Bellevue. So, but it's not such an easy reading. So it's quite uncomfortable, because it's about a girl who loses grip on reality and falls into madness. So not everyone is ready to, and maybe also Toxa, which is kind of experience with the body and the pregnancy and motherhood, yes, and the relations between mothers, that is quite nasty sometimes.
It is important, I think, to give especially women good reading stuff and about which reflects their reality. So let's see how it goes, and hopefully there will be more translations. But do you have actually now some new plans for the coming future?
Yes, I usually don't speak about books that are not out yet, but as I'm publishing a new book in September or October, and it's already ready, almost. We are doing the proofreading. Yes, I'm publishing a new novel that will be called something like Under the Turin Sun, and it's about two families in Turin. One is Italian, another it has come from Brussels, but actually the main character that is narrating is Slovak originally. And like these families become friends, and then nasty things happen, but it's mostly about bad decisions of parents that influence the children and make them fragile, and it's a bit complicated. Yes, I'm quite nervous because it's my second novel, and I really don't know.
Yes, but we hope it will go well. But thank you very much for this talk. I hope it will be nice for you to read the Mothers and Truckers in Spanish.
Yes, I'm very happy.
Yes, and thank you very much for your talk and time.
Thank you for the attention.
Greetings to Guadalajara. Thank you.